Good evening and welcome to the Indie Voice Show, where artists can listen, learn, and grow with knowledge empowering success. And now, here is your host, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, Miss Wendy Hicks.
And we're up. Hello, 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 world. Thank you and welcome to the Indie Voice Show. My name is Wendy Hicks, and as always, I am so happy that you're here. Thank you so much for watching, and also make sure that you spread the word, bring friends next time, because, you know, the more, the merrier. So we got a great show in store for you today. Today, my special guest and co-host is Damo Music. He is a true testimony of how sometimes life happens and we have to defer our musical dream or any dream, but the journey to the dream is not always a direct path. Thank you, Kevin, for that. I like that. So we'll talk about that and more, but first we're going to go into our Artist Quick Tip segment. As some of you may know, I am an affiliate of the Indie Bible, which is a great resource for independent artists that need information about, there's helpful articles, which I borrow to share with you, but there are also resources that will point you in the right direction when it comes to looking for people to blog about you, looking for people to review your work, looking for people to write articles about your music. If you are looking to tour, it's a great resource because it gives you, by state, a listing of promoters and resources that you can reach out to so that you can promote your music. A whole big collection of radio. It's got radio references, resources, whether it be national or they have the college. So there are some people that are interested in doing the college circuit. So again, it is a wealth of information. Now, what I'm also doing, I went to ASCAP about a month ago, and the last time we did the show with Milton Smith, I shared with you this book that I purchased, and the author is Ari Hernstand, and I'm going to try to get him to Skype in one day. But the title of the book is How to Make It in the New Music Business: Practical Tips on Building a Loyal Following and Making a Living as a Musician. This is a great resource. It gives you a lot. I know it's probably kind of, the white is kind of faded out a little bit, but it has a wealth of information. And even by looking at the table of contents, I mean, it goes from the very first chapter, which talks about, you know, why music? You know, what does making music mean? Is this really something that you are ready to embark on? I mean, it gives you some things to talk about, or to think about, I'm sorry. It talks about the new music industry. You know, we are now in a digital age, digital distribution. You know, we have the rise of the independent artists, which, you know, we've been around for quite some time, but now we are able to promote and produce our music ourselves. So what does that mean? So this is really like a step-by-step guide. It covers recording, it talks about the release, when you finished your project, what next, building a fan base, one fan at a time, playing live, some things to consider, how to promote your tour, what are some of the things that you need to do to prepare, booking and promotion. It talks about, again, touring, how to make real money playing colleges, something to think about, sponsorships and investments, how to master the internet. It talks about digital distribution, which I'm going to talk a little bit about after I do the Artist Quick Tip article for today. The new asking economy, the difference between asking and begging, because as you know, as an independent artist, you know, you're self-funding, or, you know, you're enlisting the help of your family and friends, and even outreach to your fans to help with your with getting your project funded, because that is quite an expense. How to get all the royalties you never knew existed. How to get music played in film and television. And I mean, and it just goes on and on. Again, this is a very interesting read. He breaks it down very simple. Again, it's not difficult. And one of the things that I shared on the show, the last show, was that my takeaway from ASCAP was, it's not just about, I mean, yes, music is the end goal, But in terms of making money or having your music heard, it goes beyond creating music and putting, releasing something on iTunes and having folks, a small or possibly large number of people hear your music. It's about monetizing your music and about getting it played in for commercial ads, or even movies. So this is it gets you to thinking about the possibilities and what other things you can do with your music, in addition to releasing it and having it heard like on iTunes, or even if you self-promote on your website. So again, it's how to make it in the new music business. I don't know if you folks on Facebook Live, hey Brian, can see it, but I said that I was going to post it on my Facebook page, and I will. So today's artist quick tip is how to sell your music on iTunes. The important facts some leave out. And I thought this was an interesting read, because one of the things, like for myself, subconsciously, I think I was looking at iTunes as a way, it is a way to sell music, but some people also look at it as a way to market your music. And that, because you think that that's extra exposure, and yes, it is, but you have to get people to your iTunes page in order to, know who you are and to purchase. So just a quick, I'll just go in briefly what the article, again, it says. So it says that iTunes is a platform to sell your music, not a marketing tool. And what it serves one purpose, and it's to provide a way for people to buy your music. And one of the things that this article stresses is that, and it says, as with selling on any other platform, if you really want to make sales, you first need to get people aware and interested in your music. If you don't do this, it won't matter where you're selling your digital downloads. And so it says how to get more exposure on iTunes. And one of the best ways to get more targeted people visiting and interested in your iTunes sales page is to link it to your own website. So again, and then it also, the article, it talks about, once you link it to your website, the next step is to promote your music and yourself as a brand, which is very important. It's key. And they offer suggestions or solutions, like with YouTube. You drive people to your YouTube videos. You have a link that's embedded, to show maybe your live performances. Your link that's embedded to your iTunes page, and then again you draw people there. But there are other marketing techniques, and this particular article doesn't really delve into the marketing side, but it just offers suggestions on things that you can do, or some solutions, things that you can do to drive people to your iTunes page. So in a nutshell, again, you have to make yourself known. And to piggyback off of it, I thought it was interesting. On the way here, I was trying to find something in this book that kind of piggybacked off of that. And this sort of kind of does. It involves iTunes, but it's called Digital Distribution, How to Get Your Music on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and everywhere else. So it starts, and I won't read all of this because it's quite a bit, but so it says, you have CD Baby, TuneCore, DistroKid, Symphonic, 1RPM, Ditto, Reverb Nation, Mondo, iTunes, or the major on-demand music consumption platforms of the world like iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, Amazon, Rhapsody. And some of these I had never even heard of, so I already learned something right then. It says all require receiving their music from authorized distributors. And it says before CD Baby cracked this open in 2004, you had to be signed to a label that worked with a distributor to get your music into iTunes. And so now, as an independent artist, you can do it on your own. So it offers things that you to look for when you're researching which digital distribution company to use, which I thought was interesting. So we have cost. Do they charge you upfront fees, yearly recurring fees, fees per release? Do they get a commission? What percentage of the royalties does the company take? Speed. Some will get your music to outlets within days or hours, and others take weeks. number of outlets. Most companies distribute to nearly all the most popular retailers. Some just pick a few to work with. Opt out of stores. And this was interesting. If you get a UK only record deal, you want to be able to omit the UK region when you distribute to the rest of the world. So that's something interesting to think about. And a side note to that is one of the things that as far as the UK, and I didn't know this until, a couple of years ago, but they learn about the music from the States because they pay attention to the newly released music on iTunes. So that's a way that they know who, has good projects or new projects. Then they listen to it and then they start playing it and reaching out to you and playing your music over in the UK. So I thought that was something interesting to know. Adding stores, do they charge you to add new stores when they become available, or do they add your music automatically? Custom label name, if you have a record label you're working under, make sure you can use the name when you distribute. And of course, very important, the ISRC and UPC codes. ISRC codes are assigned per song. UPC is assigned per album. Some companies charge for those. Some give you that for free. Payment frequency, you can actually, I know for CD Baby, you can opt to, like if it reaches a certain amount, then they will deposit it into your account. But payment frequency, weekly, monthly, quarterly, immediately. And again, the payment threshold, is it $10? Is it $100? How much do you need to make before they pay you? YouTube monetization, which is also another way that you can make money. It's good to keep, for YouTube monetization, he says it's good to keep this under one roof. The flexible admin publishing option, good to keep this under one roof, and he expands more on it in another chapter. Beatport and Pandora, both platforms curate their music. Some distributors will distribute your music for approval. Others require you to submit your music for approval directly to the platform. And then it says, last but not least, obtaining a license for cover songs. If you distribute a cover song, you need to obtain and pay for a mechanical license. You don't need permission, but you still need the license. Some distributors will do this for you for a fee. Others require you do it to obtain your own. So again, I hope that was some information that was insightful. I mean, some things you know and some things you don't. Sometimes we have a tendency to believe, or we just subconsciously think we know something, and really we have a tendency to overlook it. So, again, hopefully I brought something for you to think about. And I will post this on my Indie Voice fan page on Facebook. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Uncle Jose. Mom is doing well. I'll give you a call. So again, make sure you check out and also join my fan page, Indie Voice, on Facebook. So our next segment is our Have You Heard segment, where I like to introduce artists that I think that you should be aware of, that you pay attention to, or some, because this is a visual show, I like to show video. So if I see new music that's out and there's a video attached to it, then more than likely I will play it. So this young lady is from out of Arizona, and I have actually featured her video before, a previous video that she had released a few years ago. Again, she's Terry Tobin, and her website is terrytobin, TOBIN.com. And the single is entitled Smile Again. So check it out.
When I think about forever,
we're back. And again, that was Terry Tobin, TERITOBIN.com. If you want to learn more about her and follow her, just check out her website. And look who I have beside me, my special guest and co-host, Damo Music. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yay, we're so happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
And I do appreciate you, when I invited you on the show, you were able to accept the invitation right away, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
So, and we have a lot because we're going to get into that. I'll get into that in a second. Let's first read about who Damo Music is, and then we'll get into the interview portion because I got lots of questions. Because when I was on Facebook checking you out, I was like, because you're doing some things that I want to do, but we'll get into that. So, Dominique D. Clark, also known as Damo Music, is an American singer, songwriter, and musician. Born in Jamaica, Queens, New York, but raised in the D.C. metropolitan area. He's been involved in music since the age of 2. Started out as a musician, this is cute, with pots and pans as his first drum set. And we had an artist here the last time that was, he started out as a drummer, and now he's embarking on his new project. But we'll get into that. Started out as a musician again with pots and pans as a drummer. By the age of 9, became the head drummer at his church, and by 13, the choir director. Wow. Dominique started writing songs at the age of 14 and started singing at 16. Okay. After he graduated from high school, went to college and started the first choir at College of Southern Maryland. Due to unfortunate circumstances, he had to leave college after his first year, so he moved back to New York and decided to pursue music. While in search of trying to figure out how to be a star, he landed great opportunities, was on the famous Apollo stage, sung at the legendary Cotton Club, and at the Sugar Bar. At 22, Dominique put his music endeavors on hold and joined the Army to serve his country. Even though he was not in his musical element, he still found a way to sing the national anthem for various generals and ceremonies all around the world. After 7 years and 3 tours, he decided to get out of the Army and get back to his loves, music, and his 2 beautiful daughters, Alexa and Addison. Shout out to Alexa and Addison. Woo woo! He also plays many different instruments, with drums, piano, and percussion being his main instruments of choice. He's performed at a lot of local venues such as WLVS, Maryland Live, Tacoma Station, Streets, Downtown Silver Spring, and on air with WPGC 95.5. One of Damo Music's favorite quotes is, "Music is me," and that's what he wants to share with the world. So again, welcome.
Thank you.
Great story. And one of the things that when I started the show off and I introduced you, we like to have a topic and definitely a message with the show. And I started out by saying that, you're a true testimony of how sometimes life happens and we have to defer our musical dream. But it doesn't mean that because you had to defer that dream, or the journey to the dream is not always a direct path. So sometimes we have to, do other things, but we always can get back on track to what it is that we were called to do. Mm-hmm. So, you are a true testament of that, and we definitely wanted to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see. I don't even know where to begin. You have a very interesting story. So first, let's just get right in. So looking back over your experiences, what would you say was the most pivotal moment and why?
I would say, the Apollo. Mm-hmm. The Apollo was big for me because I felt like once I was on that stage, it was like, okay, something's gonna happen, And because you watch Apollo, I grew up watching Apollo. Uh-huh. Everyone that came through Apollo. One of my favorite that I saw come across was Jasmine Sullivan. And now you look at her now, but I saw when she first aired, and mm-hmm. It was like, that's crazy, as a kid, like who's just singing off the wall. So then I was like, I want to be on that stage. Mm-hmm. So when I got the opportunity to be on that stage, it was just, that was everything for me.
Really?
Like,
were you nervous?
I was very nervous. I was very nervous. I sung I Won't Complain, which is a gospel song. Mm-hmm. A lot of people know it. But it was very nervous, but very excited at the same time. And to be in a whole room, because when you wait to get on stage, you're in a room full of artists. So to be in that room full of artists, and I hear everyone like, you know, going through their runs and going through their songs, and it's like all these amazing artists around here. It's just one room. It's like everything. So
crazy.
Yeah, that was a big moment for me.
Now, did they televise that segment?
They did not the first one, the second one. I made it to the second round. Shout out to Crystalline Winters. That's who I lost to in the second round. Me and her was like tied for like, you know, when they they put their hand over.
Yeah. So this is our shout out bell.
Right. Me and her was tied for like 2 of those, and then she took it, but she deserved it definitely.
Yeah. And so, did you get any? Were you able to network, and did other things come of that from that experience?
It did. Because of course people got to see me, and people knew I was for real. You know, and then it was like, okay, he really wants to do this. You know, everybody could say, yeah, I want to sing, yeah, I want to play music, yeah, I want to do this, but when they see you actually on a stage, it almost becomes something that they actually want to be a part of,
right? Instead
of just hearing you talk about it. So yeah, definitely.
Nice. Now I can't wait to get to this question, because this is something that I'm really thinking about doing. It says here, a street musician. And when I was looking at your videos on Facebook, I was like, because I've always said, when I release my project, one of the things that I want to do is I want to just go out there and just sing my music, and you know, sell some CDs, hand some CDs out, but you know, it's about just getting people to know who you are. So what was that like? Well, first, what led you to do that, and then I want to ask, you know, what was that like?
Okay, so, I didn't really want to do it at first, because I thought, okay, well, people don't want to hear you, you know,
right?
You sing in front of people walking past, we're like, yo, please, you know, like, go somewhere with that, you know, where do you get that, you know what I'm saying? But I was with a friend of mine, and she pushed me to do that, and I was like, okay. So it wasn't even my stage, actually. It was somebody else's stage.
Really? Because I'm looking at, I was like, okay, let's see what he's got there, because I need to know what I got.
But no, I did the same thing. I talked to him. I was like, yo, what is this whole setup I needed? Because after that, I was like, okay, this could be beneficial.
Right.
But yeah. So I used the guys. Once I went on his mic, at first he had me like turned down a little bit, you can tell, and then he was like, "Oh, go ahead, sing something. It's okay. I'm gonna just take a break, drink some water." And when I sung, he was like, "Yo, can you sing some more?" And
right.
So then he ended up like asking me, "Do I know this song? Do I know that song?" And like, "Yo, can you sing that?" I was like, "Okay." So I ended up just singing maybe 4 or 5 songs out there on the street downtown. So, and then people were stopping. And he made a joke, because he was like, yo, I made more money in your little 5 minutes than I've been standing out here for like 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. And, you know, I went in there, sung a few songs. People were dropping like money all in his bucket. So I was like, yo, I said, this is amazing. You know, I didn't even know this would be that much fun. But, you know, I see it all the time. Of course, you know, like I said, you see, I'm from New York. So like going through the city, they're always in there. And even here in D.C., they're everywhere. So, you know, it's like, I always looked at it and was like, okay, you know, they
got their little hustle.
Yeah, they got their little hustle, but it's definitely a beautiful thing. It's definitely fun, and I think it's necessary, because people get to see you. And then if you have, you know, your cards on you, or you have, you know, any information they can have, they're gonna ask you for it. So then now you are one person. Even if one person asks you for your information, that's one more person
that didn't know who you were.
Right, one more person on your timeline, and you know, it's all good.
That's
all good
right.
For business.
And it's interesting, because, you know, that's one thing that you don't think about in terms of marketing, because we talk about websites, and we talk about the whole social media campaign and gaining your fan base. But, you know, people, and I think it might kind of have people kind of look down on it, but to me, it's like when I do it, I won't even have like the bucket. I'll, you know, ask people to like buy my CDs, or again, I might even just give some away, because that's one more person that didn't know who you were, but you don't know who that person might know, you know, that can lead you. It comes full circle. So
exactly.
When I saw that, I said, oh, I can't wait to ask that question.
Right.
So I know it's important too. Location.
Yeah.
So do you know where you want to go when you do it?
Downtown's always good. Silver Spring, because they're always walking past. If you hit U Street, definitely just the spots that you know everything is around, where it's a one stop shop. So like people gonna be there. Definitely where you need to go.
Now I know I'm gonna be scared as I don't know what. So I'm like, oh my gosh, but I'm.
Shoot, let me know when you go. I'll be right there. We can tag team off our fears and let's go ahead and get it happening.
Okay, so how did you keep up with your music during your time in the military?
It's kind of what helped me. Like military's it was good. It's I don't regret it. And when they found out, like maybe the first year I was in, they found out I could sing. Because some of my battle buddies, the soldiers that are in Army with you in your unit and stuff like that. So some of my battle buddies, heard me singing to myself. And I'll be in my bunk working on something or, just songs in my head. They be like, yo, you sing? At first they tried to clown me. So, they went, and this was like basic training. Like they went and told the drill sergeant, hey, I think Clark has something to sing. This would be funny. And the drill sergeant made me sing in front of the whole company. So it was like, it was wild. But, then they found out I could sing. Went from there to when I actually got to my unit. They found out I could sing. I didn't have to say a word. It was just like, yo. Wow. So national anthem was basically always sung by me, and so another singer came along, and then they would tag team. Oh, you sing this one, you sing this one, at different events. So during my tours, I ended up singing national anthem because always people going in and out, and every time you have a person retire or you have a ceremony or something like that, national anthems always sing. So they had me sing that, and I ended up singing in the Army. It's crazy because of the places. I ended up singing Cuba, Kuwait, different places that people normally put in to go sing. I got to do it just because I was already there. So it was a good thing.
That's pretty cool. It's something how music, it just follows you. And then and people, when it comes to like the weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs, whatever, they always got something they want you to do.
Yeah.
Just hopefully those folks that reach out and ask you to do these things support you. That's key.
That is key.
We need those same people that are asking us to do favors to support us.
Definitely.
Right?
I actually wrote three of my favorite songs. I wrote three of my favorite songs. Like, one of them I wrote in a porta potty. And two of them I wrote in the barracks while I was in the desert. So it's like, I didn't have anything else. And so I had my little laptop, my iPad, and I had GarageBand on it. And I wrote three good songs, like I performed them today.
Wow.
So the three dope songs that I wrote in the private space,
So are you working on your because I know you released Touch back in February. So that's part of, do you have a CD project that you're currently working on?
I am working on a CD project. I want to release one more single first, and that single will be coming. It's called "Do You Need a Drink," and so that's gonna be the next single. Then I want to release the EP, and but it's all coming. It's all coming. Definitely, I'm definitely working hard. So if anyone is wondering what I'm doing, I'm working hard. Like I don't go a day without working on music, so it's definitely coming. I just want to make sure that it's perfect for you guys.
Right.
Oh,
and we're gonna get a sample in a few minutes because we get to hear you perform live. Your latest single, Touch. So now, you mentioned you went to school for about a year and then you had to leave. So when you went to school, were you studying music?
I was actually, my major was in communications. My minor was in music, but I didn't really touch music, so it was kind of discouraging because, all the preliminaries and actually my communication course took over. So it was like, that was a heavy load. So I didn't really get to tap into music. So I never got that chance. I wanted that chance. I'm definitely going back to school. So when I go back to school, I want to pursue that. But I've never had any lessons on music or none of that. So like, I want that. I want to bring perfection to the table. So I know to be perfect, I have to be taught. And so like, I want that.
Like music theory.
Music theory. I want to be able to do all of that. It's like I play a lot of instruments. No one's ever taught me how to play. I play them. I know how to play. I've been playing all my life. So it's just being brought up around music. It becomes second nature. But I want to know what I'm doing.
Right.
Right. So it's like, yeah, it can sound good. Everybody's like, oh, he's dope, but can I know what I'm doing?
It's nice to know the history.
I want to hear. I want to see, be able to type it out for you. I want to do that. So like, yeah, definitely, I'm going back to school to pursue that.
Okay. So one of the things that struck me when I was reading your bio, what's interesting, yes, you started music at a very young age. So music was a part of you from a very young age. But you didn't realize, or I wouldn't say you didn't realize, but you didn't really start singing until 16?
Yes.
So how did that come about? How did you know that you had a voice?
So I grew up with my mother without my father. My father wasn't in the picture at all. Still isn't. So I met him for the first time when I was 16. And I met him by finding my family. So his family. So when I met them, of course, my mother sings. I think I put that in. My mother sings. My family on the side sings. But when I met him, that whole family sings too.
Oh,
and
my
they're like real heavy in the music. Like it's like everybody. It was crazy. So when I met them, I was like, wait, you know what? I do music, but I wasn't singing. Everyone sings around me. Now I find out both sides. And then also it was like a happy moment for me. Like to finally meet your father was a different chapter in my life. And I believe, I just want to give credit to that. I believe that new chapter in my life just brought something different in me that I wanted to sing. And so I was writing music for people and writing these songs that I thought they were good. And so when I was sitting there and singing, like, yo, you should sing this like this. And somebody just said, yo, why don't you sing it?
Right.
So I was like, all right. So I tried to sing it. And, you know,
Wow.
the biggest platform is church. I tried to sing it at church. Everyone was up. Everyone was crying and tears. And like, yo, you did that. You know, it's like, okay, so maybe I could sing. So maybe I'm not just a musician. I'm also a singer. So I started there. And I just kept going.
That's really interesting. Because, you know, sometimes, I know, you know, a lot of times when I read these bios, it's always so young when they know. Or like for me, it was my mom. She had a Phyllis Hyman record, and I just loved. And I didn't know that I could sing, but I wanted to mimic that sound. And then one thing led to another, and it's something that kind of it develops. But I always find it interesting to know, like, how did you find your voice? How did you know you had a voice? So that's pretty cool. Wow. So does your dad, is he following your music?
I'm not sure.
No, okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
My siblings are. Definitely. My siblings are, yeah. My brother and my sister, they live in Italy. Shout out to them, Harry and Tanya.
All right, you got to hit the button. Shout out.
No, they definitely, like, my brother follows everything. And then my sister, she sings as well. She's phenomenal. Like, she's all over the place in Italy. And, you know, he just teased. He was like, yo, how y'all get to sing and I don't? But he definitely is a big supporter of both of us. And I appreciate that. Definitely.
Cool. So we kind of talked about, like, your experience at the Apollo. And then you mentioned in your bio that you performed also in the Cotton Club. So what are some of your takeaways from performing at the Cotton Club? What was that experience like? Okay,
the Cotton Club it wasn't even so much of what I was going to do. Everyone knows the Cotton Club, toe taps, you know, it's just like, that's historic. That's just as historic as the Apollo. And to be in that building, like, I had chills just because you know what it is. You know, it's like, you only read about this is in history, the Cotton Club. So, and then two, the highlight for that was I was talking to my mother when I was going to the Cotton Club. My grandfather, which is Jimmy Buxton, Harlem Blues, which used to always be in the Cotton Club. That was his spot. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, my grandfather, he passed away when I was 2, so he never got to see what I'm doing now. You know, I wish he was able to see this, but you know, that was his arena, and to be able to step on in his arena and do my thing was everything to me. Because he's a legend. Harlem Blues, Cap Calloway came on with my grandfather, and it's like, these are legends. These are big people. To step in that arena, just to feel the aura, was everything to me. So.
Wow. So I kind of want to share something with you. As you were talking, it just came to my spirit. So I had mentioned this to a previous guest, but it's really apropos now and listening to you speak. So I've been talking about this book, How to Make It in the New Music Business, A great book. I had mentioned earlier, I went to ASCAP, and the author of this book was there, so I purchased it, and it's a great, great read. But one of the things that he talks about is how important it is to have a story. Because you have artists come a dime a dozen. So it's like, what sets you apart? And it's not always about how good you sound, because, you know, we've seen that it's definitely not always about that, but it's what people can connect to. So you have to really, identify with what your story is, and that's what you use to leverage and promote your music. So I think that you talking about your family history, and especially like your grandfather, that would be a great, great, great way to share your story and to get people really, really interested and involved in wanting to know who you are. So I just wanted to share that with you, because that would be pretty great, right? Man, so keep that in mind as you're working on your project and trying to figure out how you're going to develop your brand.
Sounds good.
Yes. All right. So with that being said, I want to take a quick commercial break, and I'm ready to hear Touch. Ready? Yes. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and the next voice you hear and face you see will be Damo Music. Woo woo!
Well, hello. This is Damo Music, and y'all about to listen to Touch, my first single. I ain't never had nobody feel me like the way you do. Giving me chills, baby, and I can't help but love you. Cause ain't no ocean deeper than yours, babe, and I can't help but drown inside of you. You got your love all over me. You can take a trip on me. Take you to the bed, take you to the shower. Lift you by your legs, put you on the counter. Do anything you want, but you gotta make a promise. Do anything you want, but you gotta make a promise, please. I need you to please touch me. I need you to. Put your hands all on my body. I wanna feel you writing your name. Take the stress away from my day. I'm covered in your spell. I'ma say I'm with. I'ma say I've changed. And you can never, but you can't tell. Please touch me. I need you to. Please touch me. I need you to. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Shoot, smile. I need a cold rag. I need some air. I need, I like that. That was hot.
Appreciate it.
The whole time you're singing, I'm like, okay, so, I have coined, people say, oh, what's your genre of music, blah, blah, blah. I have coined your musical genre as super soul sexy. Yes, I like that. And watch somebody, I'm going to have to trademark that. Super soul sexy. I like that. So, I think I know the answer to this question, but, what was the inspiration behind Touch? Keep it PG, 13.
All right, I got you. All right, so the inspiration behind Touch is to expose the male and female. So, like, basically, some men tend to be more macho. They want to be like, yo, keeping it PG.
Right.
They just like, hey, I'm good,
Yeah.
It's nothing, But I want to display the true feeling that a real man feels. Like, it's not only the woman want to be touched, but the man wants to be touched too. Mm-hmm. I want my woman to be just as affectionate with me at the same time. So I wrote the song and dropped it on February 14th because
nice.
I wanted it to just display the affection from both angles and try to bring that love connection.
Mm-hmm. All right, I see you performed it. You had the single release party.
Yeah.
So what was the response from the ladies when you was performing that live?
Oh, they loved it.
They
loved
did.
It. Yeah, they loved it.
Did you get
definitely.
the panties thrown on the stage?
No. Cards, numbers, panties. It was like everything. Like, yo, like, what are you doing? I want to be wherever you. So it's like it was just all love. It was all love.
Yeah.
I appreciate it because I wouldn't even be sitting here with you if no one showed me love from that song. So, just to get all that love from being no one, I was only good to myself. So just having a voice out here and people actually listening and like, yo, your song is dope.
Right.
That's everything.
I love it. I mean, and it definitely came from a genuine place. Like I just felt like you were feeling that song. So I like that. I loved it. Okay. So is this the kind of vibe that we can expect from your CD project?
Yes. That's my vibe. But I want to branch a little bit. I want to be able to give you everything. I don't want to be limited. Like I want to be able to get out there. I don't dance, but I'm gonna try to give you everything everything else. You know, I'm gonna try to touch a little pop, try to touch a little jazz, R&B, hip hop. You know, I want to be able to be that artist that they're like, yo, Damo music's gonna sound dope on this track. Hit him up because he could do that, and it doesn't have to be just the slow, moisture songs. You know what I mean? It could be anything. I have a voice, and I feel like my voice should be heard.
Okay. All right. So what do you think, or what do you want people to learn from your musical journey?
That just love what you do. If it's something that you love, it's not hard. And the hard part is just being accepted by your peers, being accepted by fans, or but the part about you loving it, if you love it that much, someone else is gonna love it because they're gonna have to feel it. It's no way around it. And I try to make sure that whenever I sing or whenever I write, that whatever I put out, that they're gonna be able to feel what I feel. And when I tell a story, like a lot of the songs that if you come to any of my shows, you'll hear my songs and there's a story behind all of them, and all the stories are true. Right. I don't write anything that I haven't experienced or tapped into. So I like that. You know, I like being able to sing a story. And so what I would say is just tell your story.
Right, right.
And, you know, that I love love. I love relationship. I love companionship. I love having a friend. You know, it's just like, that's important. That's important in life. You know, being alone out here is not cool. So,
right.
So exactly, I put that in my songs. And, you know, of course you don't have all the perfect people out here, but if you keep striving for that, and that's what the song is. That's what music is. Music is a strive, and you just keep going.
Right. But the key word, like you just said, is being authentic. And as long as you are staying true to who you are, and it kind of sounds cliche because you hear a lot of people say it, but it's so true. As long as you stay true to who you are as an artist, and you are authentic with your music, true, everybody is not going to like your music, and that's okay, because, you know, that's what sets you apart, what makes you unique. Everybody doesn't like your girl Beyonce's music, Kevin, but not every single song, but again, it's important to just stay true to who you are, and the rest the rest will follow. Yeah, right? Definitely. So, I mean, like I said, just listening to that, I'm a fan. Just that one song, I was like, okay. So, where can people? Do you have any upcoming performances?
I do. On the 7th, I'll be on 15th Street at Late Lounge. I'll be performing there. I'll be on 2 sets, so we'll be out there pretty a good time of the night. So.
Okay.
Definitely come out 15th Street.
Okay.
Late Lounge, L8.
Okay, L8. Okay.
Late Lounge.
Are you performing by yourself, or is it a group?
It's me, solo artist, but I have a band, do live band. So I really don't like the track thing. I know I got to do it.
Right.
Sometimes I have to do it, but I like live band because then I can really do my thing. I don't have to worry about the track. I really like the live band because I want to give you true R&B, and back in the day it was true R&B. You know, you had all these R&B singers. Like James Brown, it's a band. You know, like Ray Charles, it's a band. You know,
right,
like
right.
I just want to be like that. So like, yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
And so how can people stay connected to you, or your website or your social media?
Website is cdbaby/Damo Music. Instagram is Damo_music. Facebook is Damo_music _ is spelled out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's Damo, DOMO _ and the music is spelled
MUZIQ.
Okay.
Damo _MUZIQ.
Okay.
And Instagram is the _ symbol, Damo _MUZIQ. Facebook is Damo spell out _ MUZIQ.
Okay. All right. So you guys know how to stay connected to Damo, and thank you so much for coming. Again, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I thank you. I'm very grateful that you accepted the invitation so quickly. I'm like, yes. So I appreciate that, and shout out to Pete from Hungry Boy Productions. Thank you so much, Pete. Love you. So we're going to end the show. Guys, come back each and every week. We're here at 5 o'clock. I bring you wonderful artists, promoters. We have songwriters that come, music managers, all the different components of music. I bring life coaches. It's important to really understand or know that this is really something that you legitimately want to do. It's your calling. But so we bring you information and resources to get your projects out and to keep you inspired, keep you motivated, and know that it's never too late to follow your dream. So again, thank you guys for watching, and spread the word about Indie Voice here Saturdays at 5 o'clock. Bye.
My life is a gift from you, blessed from heaven, that's for sure. So every day I give thanks to you. I haven't perfect, that's okay, and you still show love my way. Yeah. Please don't stay, 'cause I know the sun does shine, the rain does fall, and there will be a twinkling little star. And just like we have winter, spring, and summer, fall, I can always count on you, because you never let me down. You've always been around for me. And my trust for you will never leave. It will never leave, because you know my destiny. So I every day my faith is stronger, knowing that I hang on a little longer. Sometimes life is a little hard, hey. Your times are tough, so hard to bear. I get weak sometimes I feel you really don't care. But when I open my eyes and look out the window and see the sun doesn't shine.